And we are set for our main event here on the 20-year anniversary edition of TNA iMPACT. Our flagship show came into existence on June 4th, 2004. TNA iMPACT is behind only WWE's Raw and SmackDown as the longest-running weekly flagship program in the history of professional wrestling, and frankly, it's one of the longest-running shows in television history.
TNA iMPACT has been worldwide, has been a phenomenon since day one, continues to be where some of the best pro wrestling on the planet happens to this very day, just like you're getting with two of the best in the world today between Nemeth and Kazarian.
Two men who have never gone one-on-one before, opposite ends of the pro wrestling world, so to speak. Frankie Kazarian, a five-time X Division champion, shoulders down here by Nic Nemeth. Nemeth trying to put away Kazarian here early on in this bout. Arm drag there, and now Nemeth, once again, shoulders down, and a kick out by Kaz.
And Nemeth, we've talked about it ad nauseum throughout his career, but his amateur wrestling background, his style coming into play once again here, trying to tie up Frankie Kazarian in these pinning predicaments, in these arm drags, these arm bars, always staying on top of his opponent quickly.
So I mentioned it was June of 2004 that iMPACT came into existence. November of 2004, one Nic Nemeth was beginning in OVW, not far from where we are here in Louisville, Kentucky. Tonight we're in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio area, so a lot of things coming full circle in some ways. Now it's Kazarian, who, as we mentioned earlier on, closed out the very first edition of iMPACT then as the X Division champion, but the stakes all are significant tonight for Kazarian. He has made a pact with the system that if he's able to take out Nemeth tonight, that he will get himself the TNA World title shot in the future. Oh, I don't know if I entirely trust the system on that end of the agreement.
You gotta trust the system, Tom. Haven't you heard it enough? They say it, they remind you, and they prove it every time they get together, every time they show up and show out in that ring. And I think they're gonna prove it once again, come against all odds.
Oh, come against all odds. Nemeth and his brother Ryan will be challenging Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers for the TNA World Tag Team titles. There's a cover. Kazarian trying to put away Nemeth in a kick out. We understand next week on iMPACT, Nic and Ryan Nemeth are going to have their first match as a tag team. That's right, they've never tagged together before. And 24 hours before Against All Odds, they're going to figure out if this team actually works, despite them being brothers. Oh! Off the drop kick, Nemeth charges at Kazarian.
Picking up the pace here, but Kazarian having an answer for the wanted man.
Oh, and down goes Nemeth hard to the outside.
And Nemeth smacked down hard, not a lot of padding between that and the concrete. Nemeth is just writhing out on the floor.
And Kazarian looks to be content to count out here. If he gets the win against Nemeth, does he still cash in on his TNA World title shot that the system had promised him? He instead goes after Nemeth, realizes the system wants him to take out Nemeth, not just beat him, but take him out.
That would certainly make things much easier for the system at Against All Odds. Hey, if Nic Nemeth even makes it to Against All Odds.
Oh, slingshot leg drop. Cover by Kazarian and a kick out. And speaking of someone who we're questioning if they can make it to Against All Odds, we saw the way Moose beat down Broken Matt Hardy last week as we went off the air, revisited that earlier on tonight. It is still scheduled, Moose versus Broken Matt Hardy, for the first time ever for the TNA World Championship, Friday, June 14th, live on TNA Plus in Chicago at Against All Odds. But I am curious if Hardy is going to be able to fight that night.
You know, that TNA World Champion Moose is certainly hoping that Broken Matt Hardy is broken for good.
Snapmare there, and Kazarian trying to slow down the pace here against Nemeth. Kazarian, who made it very clear when he turned his back on Eric Young back in January, and everything he did to screw Young out of the championship at Sacrifice earlier this year. Kazarian's focused on one thing, becoming the TNA World Champion.
That has been his goal for 20 years. The one thing that has eluded him in this company, Frankie Kazarian has done it all. He's done everything in pro wrestling and here in TNA except that one final goal. And he is dead set on making it a reality.
Rushed into the side, Russian leg sweep there. Here's the cover, forearm in a face, and a kick out by Nemeth. A meeting of two of the greats in all of pro wrestling, a first-time ever matchup. Kazarian versus Nemeth continues picture in picture.
And the king of TNA maintaining control over his kingdom of the ring here tonight in this main event. Kazarian has a strong advantage here over Nemeth.
Oh, wait a minute, I'll try, maybe trying to go for the chicken wing here. Frankie Kazarian trying to end this right now against Nic Nemeth.
Nemeth, though, fighting him off. He knows what's coming. Able to stop the grip from being locked in, stop the chicken wing from being cinched. Now, Nemeth just trying to get back up to a vertical base here, does so. Can he break this hold? Kazarian holding on.
And Nemeth trying to fight his way out. Trying to break the control that Frankie Kazarian has had. Oh, and an elbow right to the ribs.
Breaks the hold, gets the separation.
Oh, and a knee strike there by Kaz. Little flurry there by Nemeth, but the self-proclaimed king of TNA snuffs it out.
That knee seemed right to the bridge of the nose of Nic Nemeth. Shut any momentum he had down real quick.
On a gut wrench here by Kazarian.
And Kazarian, you could see it in the way he's moving, in the way he's working. He is feeling confident.
Because of me. You're all here because of me. 20th anniversary.
The arrogance of Frankie Kazarian as Nemeth rushes at Kaz.
Hey, telling the crowd here, you're here because of me. He's not wrong necessarily. I mean, he was a pioneer here in the early days of TNA and of iMPACT Wrestling as a show.
Nemeth went for the super kick, but Kazarian countered with a huge clothesline out of the corner.
Oh, now standing on the hair of Nic Nemeth and pulling up. Yanking the hair almost out of the skull of the wanted man.
Now look at this. Using the bottom rope.
Bottom rope and all his body weight too.
Breaks before the referee's count of 5. Kazarian looking to win by any means necessary.
I mean, for him, this may as well be a #1 contender match as far as he's concerned for the deal he struck with the system to take out Nic Nemeth ahead of Against All Odds and his World Tag Team title shot. That will get Frankie Kazarian what he wants. Can he get it done in this main event?
And we are back here on TNA iMPACT, which is presented by Impulse, streaming on demand now on Apple, Amazon, Google, and your favorite streaming platform. This is the main event of the 20th anniversary edition of TNA iMPACT, episode 1037. 20 long years ago, Frankie Kazarian closed out the inaugural episode of iMPACT and now finds himself in a first-time ever match against Nic Nemeth, going for the chicken wing here, and Nemeth trying to stay alive in this fight.
Nemeth fighting it off again. We saw during the commercial break, Nemeth was able to fight it off before, does so again here.
Frankie Kazarian has made a deal with the system. If he can take out Nemeth tonight, he'll get himself a TNA World title shot in the future. Nic Nemeth, sidestepping Kazarian, shoulder first into the steel post. Uh-oh, DDT, center of the ring.
Spiked Kazarian.
Does he have it? Oh, and a kick out. We know scheduled for Against All Odds, the TNA World Champion Moose will defend his championship against broken Matt Hardy. What state is Hardy in after the assault by Moose last week? That remains to be seen. But also, Nic and his brother Ryan Nemeth are going to be challenging Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers of the System on Friday, June 14th, live on TNA Plus in Chicago at Against All Odds for the TNA World Tag Team titles.
Ooh. These repeated elbows. Oh,
wait a minute, go for the chicken wing. Kaz caught Nemeth.
What a counter by Kazarian.
Oh, look at this, trying to grapevine the legs around the midsection. Great control here of Nemeth. Nemeth, that right arm, trying to reach out for the bottom rope to break up the submission.
He's got to, Tom. He's got to get there. Otherwise, this is game over for the wanted man.
Frankie Kazarian could be a split second away from his TNA World title shot. Oh, and now it's Nemeth trying to get to the rope. Nemeth, can he stay alive? Yes! Nemeth breaks up the chicken wing.
Just in the nick of time. Much of the chagrin of Frankie Kazarian.
Kazarian, all of his frustrations, certainly has been eyeing the TNA World Championship for a long, long time. Does he trust the system? That remains to be seen. Wait a minute. Trying to set up for fade to black. Nemeth felt it coming.
Hell of a counter. Whoa.
Oh! Went for the super kick.
Wait.
Kaz took back his footing. Look at this. Our shoulders down and a bridge out. Look at this bridge out by Nemeth.
The strength, the neck strength of Nic Nemeth. That's that wrestling background coming back into play here.
I was maybe trying to set up for a backslide there against Kazarian. A stalemate here deep into the matchup. Oh, and Nemeth wins that fight. Shoulders down off the backslide and a kick out. Oh, and a super kick. Is it enough? Oh, and Kazarian stays in it.
And I mean, you saw, take a look, this super kick catching Frankie Kazarian, and then the wanted man just collapsing into the cover. Maybe not quite enough there, not hooking the leg, grabbing his own hand like he has been in previous covers. Not enough to get it done.
A matchup of two of the absolute best in all of professional wrestling. Oh, now wait a minute, he wanted the danger zone. Nemeth went for the danger zone. Kazarian felt it coming. Oh, and the guillotine leg drop there amongst the ropes.
And Nemeth just driven head first into the canvas, slumping off to the apron there. Nemeth is on Dream Street here. He is wobbly.
Oh, and the slingshot cutter by Kazarian. Cover. Nemeth is not going to go away.
Take another look. Look at the slingshot cutter from Kazarian. Almost gets it done, but not enough to put Nemeth away.
Think about the resolve of Nemeth, the controversy surrounding his TNA World title match with Moose at Rebellion, the way that the system took him out shortly thereafter, the way the system targeted his brother Ryan Nemeth.
And now, once again, Kaz, he wants that chicken wing bad.
Elbow strikes here by Nemeth in the corner, just trying to wear out Kazarian. Oh! Kazarian able to get out of the way. Sunset flip from the ropes, shoulders down, covering the kick out. Nemeth stays close and nearly won it there. Oh! Big right hand.
The resilience of Nic Nemeth is something to be admired here, but is it enough?
Danger zone! Danger zone!
Can he get there?
Nemeth into the cover! Nemeth puts away Kazarian!
Here's your winner,
of the 20-year anniversary of TNA iMPACT.
Two of the best pro wrestlers to lace them up, no doubt about that. Frankie Kazarian has nothing to be ashamed of here.
A hell of a fight in the end. The danger zone was there. And Nic Nemeth able to put away the king of TNA. Now Nic Nemeth has a tall task ahead of him. He and his brother have never tagged together before. We'll get a taste of that next week on iMPACT as they face the ABC 24 hours before they challenge the system at Against All Odds.
Wait, look out.
Speak of the Devils, the TNA World Tag Team Champions, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards.
And Alicia Edwards out here as well to send a message loud and clear to Nic Nemeth.
The system earlier on tonight tried to make a deal with Kazarian to take out Nic Nemeth. Now here's his brother Ryan Nemeth to back him up. This is how big of a threat Nic and Ryan Nemeth are to the system.
Oh,
wait a minute. The face of the franchise, the TNA World Champion himself moves, blasting Ryan Nemeth from behind with the bell. And the same for Nic Nemeth.
The numbers are too much. The system works time and time again.
And a spear by Moose to Ryan Nemeth.
Both Nic and Ryan Nemeth. He calls himself the wanted man. It couldn't be more apropos, couldn't be more correct. He is wanted and in the sights of the TNA World Champion.
The system. Hold on a second.
He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry, who defeated Eddie Edwards last week in our main event. Not gonna let the system run roughshod. Oh!
And Hendry picking a fight once again with the system. Oh!
Hendry, like Nemeth, stood in the way of the system's goals. Hendry and Nemeth not gonna back down. Oh, and Alicia Edwards striking Hendry.
Never turn your back on the system, any one of them.
Oh, now the world champion spearing Hendry.
And Myers, Edwards, Moose, oh! And Alicia proving once again there is nobody who can stop the system.
Boston Knee Party.
Oh, Alicia Edwards not done. Or wait, look at this. Oh!
And a spear from Moose once again. If you stand in the way of the system, annihilation awaits.
I hope everybody laid out in the ring right now has learned that fact and learned it well ahead of Against All Odds